the day following our last 10th grade board exam. I woke up with a smile, realizing I didn't have to study social science anymore. And so I sat down for my breakfast, and that's when my mother slapped down 2 chapatis onto my plate. For a reason I was unsure, the chapatis tasted different. And so I asked my mother, "Is everything okay with today's breakfast?" She took a bite and she said, "Oh, I forgot to add salt." Salt? Since when did people start adding salts to chapati? I mean, I'm 16, I've had enough chapatis in my life, but never have I ever sensed the salt in it. And so that got me thinking. There are so many such things in our life that play the role of this salt. Their presence, it's barely felt, but their absence has a great impact on the way we live. And the future generation, let me picture that for you. Generation Beta, they are going to be one of the fastest generations in human history. Their world is going to be dominated by the ideas of perfectionism, speed, timing, accuracy. So in such a universe, which feels like it came out of a Christopher Nolan film, I believe that the salt this one needs is known as kindness. Now I want you all to close your eyes and think about this. When was the last time somebody was actually kind to you and it got you completely off guard? Not because it was great, not because it was grand, but simply because you weren't expecting it. You may open your eyes now. You felt that pause, right? That right there is the power of kindness. But here's something strange. The beta future, it's going to be technologically loaded. So one might think that a small emotional asset like kindness has got absolutely no chance to stand out tall. And that is exactly where we all fall wrong. You see, kindness is not weakness. It's not saying it's okay when things are actually not. It takes guts to be kind. It takes courage to be calm when snapping back is easier, to be gentle in a world that praises you to be loud, to remain humble when sarcasm gets more laughter. And the most beautiful part? Kindness is one of those only things which, no matter how much you share, you're never going to lose even a bit of it. And this has been scientifically proven. You see, our body produces this beautiful hormone known as oxytocin. It is the same hormone that is produced by our body when we experience love, joy, and our hero, kindness. Now, here's a funny experience that I once had with one of my relatives. We had this uncle who used to visit us every once a month. He was tall, he was handsome, he was 46, but there was a small problem that he was facing. He was bald. And he told me how much he wishes to have thick, beautiful black hair. Now, I knew there was nothing much I could do at that moment, but to lighten up his mood, I asked for one of his pictures, took it to ChatGPT, and added the prompt, "Kindly add hair to this person, enter." Within 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, an AI generated an image of my bald uncle with thick, beautiful black hair was generated. When I showed it to him, he had the laugh of his life. But in the end, he paused. He looked at me and said, "Thank you." You see, nothing changed. My uncle is still bald. But something magical happened at that moment. Both of our bodies produce oxytocin. My uncle was happy that somebody actually cared about his rantings. I was happy that somebody actually noticed the efforts I made. So the next time you use AI, let it not just be for finishing your assignments, let it also be for putting a smile on somebody's face. Researchers have found out something really fascinating. When somebody performs an act of kindness, it doesn't just affect the receiver, but rather it results in a ripple reaction. Meaning kindness is contagious. Not like that virus which almost wiped out humanity 6 years back, but rather like a chain reaction that strengthens it. The beta future is going to be about technological advancement. Upgraded chips, smarter AI, stronger machines. But here's the bullet. While technology made us connected to the world, it often disconnected us from reality. The betas are going to live under constant pressure, comparison filters, a world where everybody looks successful, but nobody truly admits how tired they are. And in those moments, kindness becomes survival. And here's my favorite part. Kindness does not require any money. It does not require any talent. Most importantly, not a stable network connection. All it needs is just genuine intention. Because today, people are in search of Gen Zs who are well versed with AI and technology. Tomorrow, they'll be in search of Gen Beaters who are well versed with human emotions. With its rise in importance, kindness might as well be taken as a medicine. Today and tomorrow is a world of competition. Survival, its evolution itself is based on the key principle of survival of the fittest. But the sad truth is, many fall in this race before even reaching the finish line. Estimates report roughly 750,000 people dying every single year because of suicide, with the primary reason behind it being lack of human interaction. Everyone we meet is facing a problem that we don't see. We see their faces, but not their thoughts. We hear their laughter, but not their cries. So at times, it is really important for us to hold on to people, unlike this mic, which had already left me twice in the last minute. I believe kindness can be the perfect solution to this. All it takes is just 8 minutes of your time to be spent with that one person who is in that battlefield right now. You could be saving a life. That is the power that kindness upholds. Because in a world where everybody is glued to their screens, human interactions become the only thing that keeps humanity alive. Kindness is the heart of humanity, as it is the mother of love, joy, and even humor. Yes, kindness has humor too. During exams, there are two types of friends. One who says, "Oh, you're done for it," and the other one who says, "Relax, we'll fail together." Now, academically, that's not really helpful, but emotionally, that is kindness. Gen Betas are going to be a generation who would say, "Be kind" on their Instagram profile, yet fight with absolute strangers in the comment section. The other day, I was walking back from a temple when I saw this young man taking out a 500 rupee note from his pocket and handing it out to a beggar. For a moment, I felt happy. It made me realize that humanity still exists in this cruel world. But then the next second, I see another man jumping out of the bush with a camera in his hand. They were recording an Instagram reel. Now, you might think, come on, Rishi, the beggar still got the 500 rupee note, so does it really matter? Well, no. That young man snatched his money back and handed the beggar over with a 10 rupee note, which he still accepted with grace. You see, that's not kindness. That's branding. And this is something that people always confuse between. Somebody makes a donation in certain charity, they just post 10, 15 stories to follow that up. People just love to advertise their kindness. The leaders must learn to spread kindness, to satisfy their own soul before satisfying another's mind. Real kindness doesn't announce itself. Certainly does not put any reels on Instagram. It just shows up, even during the times that don't really matter much. To make me understand the power of kindness, my father once shared this really impactful experience that he had. This took place when he was about my age, and he went to a grocery store with my grandfather. They were a little short of money at that time, and so my grandfather asked the shopkeeper if he could pay the bill later. The shopkeeper's name was Yusuf Mohammed, by the way. So Mr. Yusuf snatched the list of items from my father's hand, handed it over to his son, and asked them to bring everything that was mentioned in that list. Within 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, everything that my grandfather could have asked for was presented to them for absolute free of cost. And here's what he said: "I would rather see myself with an empty pocket than seeing another man's family with an empty stomach." See, here, my father shared the story not just to make me understand how kind it was of Mr. Yusuf, but look at its impact. This incident took place roughly 30 years in the past. Today, neither is my grandfather alive nor Mr. Yusuf, but his act of kindness is still being heard by people, at least to the 200 in this room. Real kindness can never be automated. You can train AI to think, you can train machines to talk, but you can never truly train something to care. Because kindness is an art form, and your heart is a master who succeeded in it. Speaking of success, when we think of this word, we always relate it to moving forward, right? Technological advancement, growth, development. But to succeed in kindness, you must take a step back. You see, kindness isn't something that we invented, obviously. It is something that we discovered within every single one of us. So when the Biras are all busy trying to figure new things out in their life, I believe it is important for them to maybe take a step back at times, look into the things that they already have, cherish them, and make this place a stronger world. But with all the ecological problems that are happening right now, the beta future does look a bit scary. Increased relocation, lack of LPG, fall of money value. So it's about time you stop investing too much on Bitcoin and start investing a bit on kindness. During times of hardship, they're not going to be in search of better iPhones. They are going to be in search of humanity. But somewhere down the line, it's our fault too. We did not really give the best type of future for the beaters. We are teaching them to code before they know how to care. We are teaching them to ask before they know how to speak. We are teaching them to succeed before they even know how to be a human. That doesn't mean they're weak, though. They have the power to bring peace that we never imagined. They have the power to cure diseases that we gave up on. They have the power to rebuild a world that we broke. Now hold this here. Neuroscientists. They have discovered something really fascinating in the human brain. There is this neuron known as mirror neuron. And the role of this neuron is that when you see something, it wants to imitate that same thing. Meaning, when you see somebody smile, your brain wants to smile back. Meaning, when you see somebody perform an act of kindness, your brain is wired to spread that same kindness. We are biologically designed to spread kindness. So to reshape the beta future, we don't really need massive funds or technology. All it needs is just love and care. Because one day, they'll ask us, you had the strongest technology of the time, you had machines that could do all your work, you had the solution to most problems lying inside your pocket. So tell me, did the world become kind or did it become cruel? At that very moment, the answer wouldn't be given by the software we develop today. It would be given by the people who decided to care today. Of course, technology will grow, but there are certain things that it can never replicate. The warmth of human conversation, that quiet feeling of joy when somebody says, I understand you. All those things, AI is nowhere close to making those things feel real. We do need technology, but if we are going to build a strong future, let it not just be with stronger machines, let it also be with stronger hearts. Because the future doesn't just need better technology. It needs humanity. And humanity begins with kindness. Even in a perfectly engineered world, let us not forget those small things that actually make this place beautiful. Because just like the salt in that chapati, their presence may not be felt, but their absence will surely have a great impact on the way we live. Ladies and gentlemen, technology will shape the future, but kindness will decide whether that future is worth living in. Thank you.